Now, we know.
Don't ask me about Bourdon because I don't know anything.
That was not where I was going to go. I was going to leave him alone. But we talked about Rowe, but Couturier and Harper were also missing out there today.
Yeah, Couturier, I gave. It's just a day off, just a maintenance day. He'll be on the ice tomorrow for practice.
And what about Harper?
Harper's been assigned to Trenton.
Okay.
He left this morning.
Not expecting much, but do you have a brief update on Conan? Yeah.
Conan's fine.
Okay.
He's fine. Yeah. Did good. He went into the boards real hard there.
Right.
I don't know if he tripped on a stick or toe picked or whatever happened, but he's okay.
Looked like he was grimacing pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets stung as you go in almost head first. He went in hard. There was a lot of speed going back to recover the puck and it just fell. So I just talked to him. He said he's okay.
It's good, and I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see how Gus feels after the half
Gus feels good. Half a practice today. It's a positive step. He felt good and kind of assured me that he'll be back on the ice tomorrow. So baby steps here.
And we won't ask about Bourdon, so that's all of our personnel questions, I think.
Well, just some thoughts on Harper and the reason for sending him down.
Well, Shane, he just needs to get his game going. You know, he's a player who brings offense. He can score goals. I'm aware of his resume, you know, from last year, and he just hasn't been able to break in there on a regular basis in a top six situation where, in my opinion, he should be. And sometimes it's a personal confidence, individual confidence that's lacking over in and out of the lineup. It's hard to get your game on track, and so he'll get into a situation now where he can play a lot, play important situations, all situations, and I think that's important for a skilled player, a scoring player, to be able to recover that confidence and get himself going.
And then also the newest guy out there, Marcel Noebels, and the decision to bring him up.
Well, I haven't seen him since training camp,
right.
So you know, the opinion on him is very, very positive. The views that everybody's had on him in Trenton are positive. He's playing well, putting up points. You know, so he's just going to get a look. It's an opportunity for him to come and play, and I'll get him into a lot of situations where he can keep his game going, and just hopefully we see the improvement keep going with his game.
He's been on a pretty good streak through December. What is it? 9 goals, a whole bunch of assists. You know, that's something that you guys have been looking for a little bit, is more of that scoring touch. So
yeah. Sure, you're always looking for scoring. I think, though, in listening to the people talk when I talk to them on the telephone, it's more that his complete game is just coming around. You know, it took a little bit of time to get going at the start, but gradually he's starting to find it. And now, as you get through December, as you just mentioned, you know, his game's come together pretty well. He's playing in all situations, putting points up. He's a big kid who's getting stronger from the day one of the training camp and feeling very comfortable in his body out there. So I'm watching him the first day here in today's practice. You know, again, he's got some nice skills, and we just want to keep things going on a positive side of it, keep his confidence going by playing him, you know, quite a few minutes in all situations, and hope he brings some of that game that he showed in Trenton to us.
Him being that big body, like you're saying, is that something you have to be liking a lot for this team to get additional traffic in front and all of that type of stuff?
Well, it's always nice to add big bodies to your lineup. You know, when we play teams in our conference here, we're seeing some guys who are pretty big bodies, big defensemen, and so you need to be able to match up in those situations. I think our team, though, with speed and quickness, we do a great job in recovering pucks in high traffic situations in the offensive zone. But as you just mentioned, getting into those hard areas, if you can match size for size, it's a nice skill to have.
At the start of the season, maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but I thought that one of the reasons he was sent down was there was some junior habits in his game that he was trying to break.
Probably right, yeah. I don't remember anything that I said in particular about him, or anybody didn't read anything that anyone else said about him, but you know, the early development years as a player coming out of college or coming out of junior, there's going to be some tendencies there that you want to probably change. as you get into the pro game, and it looks like he's found a game right now playing in Trenton, and hopefully he can translate it into the American Hockey League.
Absolutely. And he comes up here, this is it's a one-for-one swap with Harper. I want to go back to Harper a little bit. A lot of times, guys can really benefit from that time in the ECHL. As you're mentioning, it's a chance for them to get into those top-line minutes, play in those situations, really get the confidence back. Do you anticipate him being back before the end of the season if he's able to get that in order?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I would say absolutely. I mean, I think that's, again, the resume, the way he played here last year, listening to my assistant coaches talk, is that he had a good year. He's a point producer, goal scorer, played with good tempo and pace in his game, and was playing in the top 6 pretty regular basis. So, if he gets his game going, that's where he ends up again. We have to remember here, we got a lockout year going on right now too, and it puts a lot of downward pressure on players, and sometimes when you're a skill guy, you're not into the same situation right away at the start of the camp, and you start thinking a little bit too much, you start gripping the stick, you start hesitating, and once you start to hesitate and overthink it as a skill player in particular, then the confidence starts to leave you, and it becomes a time of frustration. I think maybe that's where Harper is at, and this would be a great opportunity for him just to go out and relax, play lots of minutes in all situations, and bring it back together.
With Noebels, I was reading a couple of things. He's got really good skating for a guy of his size. Did you see that during the training camp, or?
Yeah, I saw a big guy who moved around pretty well. But again, with a younger player, it's physical maturity. It's some power that's needed, and it looks to me like he's a bigger man today than what he was in the first day of training camp back in the middle of September. So, he's just going through the natural progression of growing as a young man, and so bring it here. In the weekend, we got a couple of big games, and we'll get an opportunity to take a look at them.
Terry, when obviously you've lost in the shootout on Monday, but played so well to come back and almost won it there quite a few times. Do you feel like you ended that weekend of games on a positive note because of that?
Oh yeah, I liked our game. I liked our game in Portland in the second half of it. I liked our game here at home against Bridgeport. I mean, we had many good opportunities in the Bridgeport game to put it away. But certainly the second period, the third period is the kind of the kind of intensity that we want to have for the 60 minutes. And when we play that way, we're a good team against any team in the league. We just need to get off to that start with the same kind of focus and play. But certainly the way we battled and the way we came back was tremendous, and the fans were edging us on, pushing us on with their support, and I think everybody felt that on the bench.
Teams morale when you're not getting the wins, you're playing well but still not getting the results. I mean, how are they?
The morale is good. Everybody's cheering for each other. Guys are standing up on the bench now, pretty much the whole game, just ready to to break out with whether it's a good play or a goal or a fight or whatever it might be. The locker room is close. We've got a great group of guys with that kind of mental approach to the game. They're making their own energy at times, and that's really good. So, and it's carrying over to the games. I look back over 31 games, and I had a team meeting this morning. I'm looking at maybe a handful of games only where you come away at the end of the day and say, we need to be a whole lot better. We've done a pretty good job in all of the games that we played, with those few exceptions. So the thing that's real hard, as we talked about many days ago, months ago, is that having a lead at the end of the first period. That's been a bit of an issue for us, and we're aware of it. And in our last 5-game segment, we had the lead coming out of the first period 3 times. We end up winning those games. So that's a good thing to keep referring to and bring a focus to. And we got to start off this weekend. Right now, to me, it's a critical time. We got 2 games against Connecticut. We got a week of practice. Now we got 3 and 3. So it's a critical time in the schedule for us. And I think we can push ourselves up pretty quickly with some good hockey.
It might be beating a dead horse a little bit and going to the past, but based on the number of not as good games, as you were alluding to, not many, it is surprising that the team's record is where it is. I mean, do you just sort of say, well, this is where we're at right now and just deal with it?
You have to deal with it, absolutely. You know, you are where you are right now in the standings, and but I think our play overall has been not reflective of the standings. I think when I take a look at this group of guys and the way we can play at our best, we're pretty good overall throughout the 31 games. So there's not many nights that I've come in again at the end of the night and said, you know, the effort's not there, the compete's not there, the focus, whatever. We've been pouring it in. The guys are trying out there, and we might have some issue finishing at the right time like we did against Bridgeport. We had probably 4 opportunities that were simply outstanding. McGinn being one with a 6x4 staring in front of him and puts it out the weak side, and that's just unfortunate. But you know, the guys who you look to score are just gripping the stick a little hard right now, and we got to relax, play the game, and just keep going and build on the positive stuff. And it's there's a lot of positive things to talk about.
Yeah.
Just wondering.